Here, the legacy of San Antonio's forebears lives today. 300 years of determination, bravery, and innovation reach out from these banks. A powerful confluence of cultures, a melding of people.
San Antonio's history is shaped by conflicts of nations, ideals, ethnicities,
and religions.
The year is 1718, and Spanish governor Martín Alarcón leads an expedition to the San Antonio River.
On the 5th of May, the governor, in the name of His Majesty, took possession of the place called San Antonio, and it was given the name Villa de Béjar, as well as for the site of the mission of San Antonio de Valero, Friar Francisco Celiz.
Mission San Antonio de Valero becomes the center of the frontera, the frontier, with the goal of establishing a strong Spanish foothold against intruders. Eventually, other missions emerge along the San Antonio River to serve the indigenous people and to convert them to Catholicism and the Spanish way of life.
The water of the springs and rivers brings people together. Families from different worlds with different ways of living, from shelter to food. Animals arrive, new to the Americas, and new diseases.
In 1731, Canary Islanders arrive at the San Antonio River. They establish the heart of the city with a disciplined Spanish plan of the city, with central plazas and roads reaching out to future farms and haciendas.
In this land of Indios, Tejanos, Texians, filled with inequality, feelings of unrest are rising. A call for independence from Spain. And that call is answered by Spanish soldiers. Tejanos form an army, the Republican Army of the North, an army unafraid to challenge a monarchy. In the Battle of Medina, more than half of all male citizens of the city of San Antonio de Béjar are killed. The deadliest battle in Texas history.
The crushing blow fuels a desire for freedom. In 1821, Mexico gains its independence from Spain.
Cultures converge out of a need to survive. Tejanos, a blend of Spanish, Africans, Native Americans, and people from the nations of Europe, rely on themselves for safety and survival, crafting a shared ideal for independence.
I am determined to sustain myself as long as possible and die like a soldier who never forgets what is due to his honor and that of his country, victory or death. William B. Travis.
In 1836, after a 13-day siege by Mexican forces led by General Santa Anna, nearly 190 Tejanos and Texians sacrificed their lives defending the Alamo and ultimately, Texas.
Though battered, Texas is now united as a republic, free from Mexico. Texas becomes the 28th state in 1845.
In fewer than 25 years, 4 different flags have flown over Texas.
San Antonio is growing with new immigrants and their families, bringing new skills and beliefs, and slaves. Another call for independence comes to Texas. The South is at odds with the North over slavery.
Texas sides with the South and enters the Civil War, defending the right to own other human beings.
The North wins, abolishing slavery. From the turmoil of a national war emerges a fallen Southern economy. Meanwhile, a taste for beef is on the rise.
Texans gather their cattle and create a new industry, the cattle industry. The largest movement of domestic animals in human history begins with San Antonio. The ranching economy revitalizes the city and South Texas.
San Antonio emerges as the largest city in the state, the New York of South Texas. While wars and borders change,
the military continues to play a major role in the city. Through the Plains Indian Wars to World War I,
San Antonio becomes the largest military assembly in the United States. Families come from across the country to San Antonio to serve the nation.
September 7th, 1921. A wall of water sweeps through San Antonio. More than 50 people die along the banks of the San Pedro and Alazan Creeks. City leaders engineer and begin a flood control plan, a plan that leads to a magnificent change to the life stream of San Antonio. The Riverwalk. The San Antonio River regains its place as the center of life in the city.
The 20th century brings new calls for freedom and equality. The largest labor protest in San Antonio history takes on massive companies with employees working in deplorable conditions.
San Antonians stand up for equality and for all voices to be heard.
Families continue being the foundation of the city, brought together through music and food.
San Antonians dare to be first.
San Antonio is the first southern city to integrate lunch counters.
Muy buenas noches.
You are the voice of San Antonio.
I've been on the air since 1939.
The 13 days of the Alamo.
The city stands tall, welcoming the world.
San Antonio now stands as a testament to how conflict and confluence have sculpted the city. It has been 300 years in the making, but San Antonio's story is not finished. This is a time to reflect on the city's history, culture, victories, and defeats. We must understand the past in order to better shape the future, to move towards a more unified, equal community. This is the story of San Antonio, and we are only just beginning.